Up, up and away in a beautiful bloom. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. What I'm going to talk about is very quick and very precise. I guess, I think, maybe, I'm not sure. But at the end, it's all going to be your own decision anyways. So whether you see my voice, but you don't see it anyways, but you hear me speak. What did you see? You saw my voice. You didn't see my voice. You felt my voice, but you couldn't see it. You only can see my mouth flapping. I'm going to try and get through this. Metric. Okay, now I'm not doing it with the compass, and I'm not going to show you on the Monopoly. I can show you metric ways, many ways, and relate it to many things of just about anything. Because once you look at it and you get a number, well, that's the relation. So metric time goes like this. I feel that the actual light inside of us is being blocked. Somehow they're able to maneuver the light. But by the breath of this speech that we make of every single day, and the movement and the will to live continues on our life to live. So we're not getting a direct hit of that light, but we'll never be without it, because without it, everything falls. The lights go out. The batteries don't start. You feel a little bit lighter and a little bit heavier and a little bit more dizzy on your feet, because the light has been blocked for such a period that everything is starting to get weak. And they know when the computer systems get weak, sometimes they think on their own. They get a little mixed up. They freeze a little bit and do things they're not supposed to do. It's just like that in this world. It's not my make-believe world. It's what I make believe to show you the truth within. So in a metric day, there are 16 hours. Each hour consists of 90 seconds. Every minute consists of 90 seconds of 1 minute, in which 64 minutes make up an hour into 16 hours, totaling to the 24-hour day. We're not getting that. I can't show you all the numbers right away. What I can tell you is every single day we are losing 8 hours. So I'm going to give you what it looks like on paper. That if we talk about moon cycles, okay, in 14 days we lose 7 days, and boom, we're on the 3rd week of the moon cycle coming into the next one. We have to keep moving the moons, don't forget. After 42 days, this has went to 21 days lost, blackjack, and 42 gained. Excuse me, did I say that right? 21 and 42, that is correct, 21 and 42. And I also want to tell you that you're awake for 9 hours a day in metric time of 64 minutes of 90 seconds, and you're asleep of 7 hours of metric time, 428 minutes. But 7 hours of metric time is actually like, is it 7, 420? What is it, 8 hours? 8 hours by 6 is 480. 7 hours by 6 is 420. It's just about 8 hours. And that's what it's supposed to be. Anyways, we have now in 42 days, we have 42 days of 16 hours a day for us, and we have 21 days lost. That is the total of 63. That is the cycle. Then to repeat the cycle, you have to go back to the beginning. 42 and 42 is 84, and now you have 48 days lost. Now, when you count in that cycle of 42 and 84, do I have it on this page? No. Anyways, I'll keep on going, 42 and 84, and, well, 42 and 84, 42 plus 84 equals to 126. 126 is at the end of the year. You have 5.25 days at the end of the year is the 126 hours that you have that we had to reconnect the beginning of this cycle after 84 days in this mode. Okay, 84 doubled 42. 42 goes around the Monopoly or sits on the Mediterranean at the worst. and that's as close as you can get to go. So that's why those numbers are picked, and those numbers mean other things. I'm not going to get into everything. So now that we have 42 and 84 is 126, we've done 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 corners. Excuse me, 3 corners. 4 corners. Let me see this. Wow. And you think that I really figured this out before I sat down. The 42 hours is 14 days. 14 days. 14 and 28. 42 and 21, right. 42 awake, 21 down. 63 days total. 63 days to reconnect a triangle. 21, 21, 21. And did you know that every 21 days a chicken hatches out of an egg? And when it hatches out of the egg, you know why? Because we met the corners and we cracked the corners. So now we put a new egg in that place. It works through our body, through the planets, through all the games. It's the same story. So however you take in the story. So then in this time over here, we're going to double it and go to 126 days, in which at 126 days you have 84 to the plus, 42 lost. Now we're going to double this again to go to 252, 252 days. And this, that you doubled it, it means you went twice around. And that number comes out to the 2 days later, the Twin Towers went down. And now you go twice around, 1 tower, 2 towers, boom, they go down. In the numbers, 2 times 52 is 10-4. Roger that. 10-4 means 1 day, 2 days. 10-4, 2, 0. 2, 4, 6, 8. Or 2, 4, 8. No actuality. So we get to 252. So this would mean we have 168 days that we get to live, true life, and there's 84 days that we don't get to live. Now when we get to the 84 days, that is 12 weeks. We have lost 3 months. Or just let's say 12 weeks. It's easier to just say 12 weeks. Because if you want to know something about the 5.25 days at the end of the year, that's 21 quarters. 21 quarters is what it's all about. The dice cube is 21. The blackjack is 21. Valentine is 21. The fox is 21. 28 and 21. So now we're down here. We have the number of days, 252. We want to get to 360 days because the 5.25 days regarding the corners, okay? So what we're actually doing is going around like 2 triangles of some sort. It would be more like you see the pyramid upside down? See this cord that's hanging in these corners? It just turns round and round. We're just going around in a little circle inside one of these triangles. Because everybody knows by making another V here and another V upside down, it'll be all triangles. We're just going around in a big pull around the oceans, inside the oceans. And therefore, not really inside the oceans, because the North Pole is sort of like an owner of part of the ocean, and so is the South Pole, so the oceans. So now we get to, well, I'm on this page over here. We get to 252 days. Now what I'm going to add on is to show you how a little bit of the alphabet. 26 letters in the alphabet. Okay? 13th on Rubik's Cube is just before the cross. The total is 39. If we take 39 more days and add it on to 252, it's 291, which means 2 suits in the deck of cards. Or take away the 2 from this and you're at 180 degrees. Plus 2 minus 2. Why? Roman numerals say, if the 1 is after the 9, I might have 11. Do you understand? You have to understand how to play with the words. So now we get to 291. What I'm going to do next is put the Twin Towers back on the roof, because we need 108 to make 360. That's the Twin Towers, 108. 36, 36, 36, 108. 18, 18, 18. 90, 90, 90, 90, 90. That's as high as they can go, my friends, with the numbers. There is no more. So you add on 3 more parts of this 108. You end up with 240 days. Oh, 24 hours a day, 10 days, 240 hours. 6, 1, and 3. 6 days, 1 day, 3 days of Moses. The 6 days is 100. There's 9 days total. 9 days out of this is 216 hours. 216 hours is 2, 1, and 6 when you get caught in your own end zone. You kick the extra point for the field goal. 6, 1, and 3 of Moses. 365 days of the laws. Not 365 and a quarter. You understand? 365 is the law in the Moses thing. Why is it the law in the Moses thing? Because everybody knows we have to crack the eggs to get on in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 eggs. 5 eggs on one side, 4 on the other. But you have to bring your 4th egg into the center 5 and live and divide it up. You got an egg worth 1/4. Well, why is the center worth 0.25? Because it's actually worth 10. When we split it all up, it was split in 4. It's 0.25 each, or a quarter each. 4 quarters is a whole. Plus, we overlap the center, and there's 1 living. That's where we get the extra time of the year. So then we get to 360 degrees. 120 days lost. For every year you live, this is what happens, my friends. By the time you reach the age of 48, did I have it in here? By the time you reach the age of 48, by the time you reach the age of 48, you're actually only 32. You've lost 16 years to the speed of the second clock. Our bodies can't catch up to the time and play with the time. We get sick. We take medications from them because they've been testing these. How does a medication all of a sudden for something, boom, we've got it. You got the flu, we've got it. How do you know what the air is like right now? You've been studying the flu shot for 60 years. All of a sudden, come in and take the flu shot because you gave us the sickness. We got to live with these sicknesses. This is what I do in my life. Have I ever missed a day of work for sickness? Never. Not one day did I ever miss because I was sick. The only thing I would have been sick about is something I would be doing inside this world and making myself even sicker towards it. We must learn about this world. We're left out of the light. Our time is going too fast. We can't get things done. But as time is going fast for us, the company only pays you by the hour or by the job. For them, it's no difference. You're still there. You're still doing the work. It's going as fast as you can go, and they're never satisfied with your speed anyways. It takes all these numbers I have done all go back to the regular clock of 24 hours. They all go to the compass of 360 degrees. One of the reasons we need to keep our clock the way it is because between every 5-minute period, okay, there are 4 numbers. 2 of them touch the side, 2 of them are in between. One you come off of, one you go into. You're braking when you come in, but you're on the gas when you're going out. So you're coming in from one rail station into the next. Earthquakes, first of all, I believe most earthquakes are caused from underneath the ground. You know what they are? They got some sort of train stuck in the mud, and they're trying to get it out. And the only way to get it out is to move the floor. When they move the floor, it shakes our earth, and then it tumbles and falls. They're getting cramped in there. There's going to be more and more earthquakes. There has to be. But don't forget, if earthquakes stop, it's because they went to do some other mining somewhere else underneath the ground. You come down from 1 into 5, you slide over into 4. You come down 3, down through 5, you slide down into 6. 6 takes a look below, and he says, "Hey, 9! Another one looks up and goes, "Hey, sick man!" Why the sick man? Also the stick man in craps, because it's to collect the dice, for you can have another roll, another shot in life, another thought in your mind. He bends on over, doesn't see anything. I guess he's looking out towards space. That would be number 8. Looks above him, sees the sky, clouds are moving on in. It's number 3, creation. Command and create what's in the sky today. He looks up into the corner on this area, and he's looking out at a distance. way over to number 1 of his mind, till he can stick his nose out and have his nose in front of everything that's in front of him, or everything that he bumps into. Has anybody ever thought? Jesus in the Last Supper, if you take a look, they're all leaning towards the Spirit. Now, why should they be leaning towards that Spirit? Because right now, in science, technology, they have found out that it might come out of the ear. But then again, they saw the orb around the body. So my technology of the ear is more of the senses part of spirit than anything else. The ears, the eyes, and the rest goes through you. You close your eyes and the hair lifts off your hands. You had your eyes closed, you weren't really listening. But the echo of the sound of the vibration through your ears really vibrate through your body the rest of the way. So we are losing now, okay, all this time. Now, if they would go back to a 90-second, 64-minute, everybody would have to get a raise of like $7 an hour. Do you understand what I'm saying? If time goes back to normal, everybody gets regular time. If time went back to normal, everybody would be producing more in a day, but the day would be shorter. But we gain back our 24-hour day to run with. We need that 24-hour day because that's the cycles we run. We need our 8 hours back from the light, and they have to change the clock for us and slow down the seconds so we can slow down to where we are, because no matter what vibration we are, we're not in the right mind of time. It says 3:15 right now, but I know it's not 3:15 exactly. It's a little different from 3:15. Pull the worldly clocks together, or forget about one part of the world and pull your clock together, let them pull their clock together, and one central. There should be maybe 16 different time zones in this whole entire world, maximum, and that should be broken down again. 3 hours, 3 hours, 3 hours, 6 around 3 hours at 60 degrees. Because everybody knows, like I said, 240, 120 is lost. 120 is the Mercedes sign. It's 120 to each corner of that sign. Okay? It's like a dome on top and nobody's further below of anything than that Mercedes sign. It's 120 degrees. Times 3 is 360 degrees. The only thing that's lost is when you hook up the ornament of the Mercedes sign, that element that it turns on, right, doesn't turn exactly with the Mercedes. There's a loose in it. We have the same loose. We have to move. We move. There's a loose here and there's a noose and a loose between the loosey goose beneath the earth. Why don't we see the right sky at night? Wait and watch. When I go out with these in my dark glasses, my friends, I see other designs. You know what I was seeing today? And I wasn't very happy, because I'm going to tell you a word that I know you've heard, that I'm only saying this word because of what it reminded me of when I looked at it. There were spores in the air. They looked like bob wires. They were blue, greenish, and they were all coming in, all running on a navy blue mark. Then there was a scatter part of red all over the sky. Forget about the yellow sky. We know it's there. There's spores coming in. Why do they have to get rid of us? Why are we no good? Is it because our light is being put into somebody that won't turn at us? And they've turned every single one of our bodies into robotics. iRobots. 1 billion iRobots. Right now, lined up, one behind the other, smelling each other's ass, not needing any food, not needing any sleep, needing absolutely nothing. They're connected with who you were all your life, and they're living it that way, except now they have rules and orders as the army men do. They get rid of us, they don't need us. They have all that energy of robotics. They don't need the light of God now to fight their wars. They built it all out of us. By us playing all the games we played in life, we have taught them every single which way we learn. That's why when we get these mental disabilities, it's because of what they're learning off of us. It's like a Cupid doll of some sort. Right now, I have a little bit of coffee. Raphael 7286. Metric time. Another thing I wanted to do before I go is just, did I do everything about metric? If you want to understand, I just want to show you something. 1 to 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There, and hold on a second, I'm designing something. 8 and 8 and 7 and 7 and 14 and 5 . Okay, now this is not really much for a design. Little road, maybe a campfire, depending how you want to look at it. Do you actually know what this is? I went from 1, I marked up 2, to 4, to 8, to 4. Here I went from 4 to 8 in between, from 4 to 8 in between. I'm using the hop, skip, and jump off of this and following the numbers down, and I'm using 1, 2, 4, 8, 1, 6, 7, 7, 1, 4, 5. I can practically play the piano or guitar off of this, just with the numbers that come in. Because whatever numbers you're going to give me, they have to run a sequence inside the wiring system automatically making music. I mean, it's written in the music. You can transfer all energies of all your motors and turn them into letters if you want, or musical notes on the bars, because you'll learn what level they're on. It's not that hard to learn the levels. And all our machinery will be playing actually instruments. And that's what I think they've done underneath the ground. I think they've turned all their machinery electronics into instruments of music, more or less rock and roll vibrations. That's why before I end this cassette, they still, I don't know if that deal is done, but they need to take over Shom FM for the new vibration. The vibrations you don't see. When they open up Shom, even though they'll have the same numbers, the vibration is different. Things have been condensed to fit into larger spaces, if I'm explaining that correctly. And they will put in something that no one can hear. Even if it's the commercials or whatever they do, they're now working in more sequence than every other station because they own the station. They're going to make changes that you won't even notice. But it's a big change. And it's still crazy to even think somebody wants to fight us out. But it's not us they're fighting. They have this crazy game they play and come in and they build moons. And they use us to build the moons because we're the closest you can come to robotics. Yes, sir. No, sir. Back to my room, sir. Okay, sir. You don't have to spend $1 billion and tons of time. And the robot can't really get his finger onto it until he makes us. But the minute they weaken our pinch and our material, we're less strong. We become stronger somewhere else. It's just like hydraulics. If you turn it and let more oil in, you'll go faster. But when you start climbing the hills, you might not be able to make it because there's a return on the hydraulic. The same way there's a return with our heart and blood and veins. What do you think? The blood goes down and says, okay, blood, stay down there, blood clot. Don't come back up. You come back up, you screw me up, I got blood in my head. Hydraulics are the same thing. Whatever tools in mathematics, whatever letters you are doing, they will be very easily, depending on which you end up making the line. I mean, this and this is the same basic thing, here to here and here, except this one I put upside down, so it looks like this, which looks like the butterfly or the letter N, or part of a W. Here you have the V, but you don't have it down here. But in the center you have the X. X7, line. But you know what's good about paper sometimes? Is now you get a different look from it. Like, what would you want what to be? Z and Z? 5 and 5. 2 and 2. 2x2. 2012. 20. Oh, now it's a duck. You see the line? Let me show you one other line on this. If I followed it a little bit more, take a look. It's a 5. But if you really want to look at it, it goes this way, this way, this way, this way, this way, and this way. Oh my God. Okay, if you made it to this point, you definitely got to do this. Go check out Bugs Bunny and The Martian. Go check the road they travel up there. It's the same design. It's a road that goes, it cuts around other roads. First you have the outside road and the sidewalk. Then you have all the houses in between. And you have the outside roads and the sidewalk and the houses in between. So whatever Mr. Rodin is doing, he marks the spot not only in the electricity, but he's building streets and houses and how things separate, because to me that's the way I see it. Maybe I'm all wrong and that's all he's building, but I mean I always like to take out this one. This one over here. This is Mark Rodin's number, 124875. And here's the rotation of the two. Hey, put that 2 up on the spit. We're both holding them. One is going back up over here to the 369 world, which actually the number is reversed inside. 1 is here, 3 is here. 3 goes down to 6, where 2 goes down to 4. 6 goes down to 8, as 4 goes down to 8. As 8 goes over to 9, as 8 goes over to 7, but they both go back up into 5. And they're on the roasting pit. Goes around, comes back down to this one, and all the way back again. Coming up, and it's a roasting pit. Now in between here, you have to make more designs, so you can take these and call them the column webbers. So you have to spread them apart. And these column webbers, what happens is, these are the 2 jacks with 1 eye. When you flip them up and put one in the center, you end up seeing 1 jack. These 2 come together. This becomes the nose. And you see 1 jack now with 2 eyes. You have 6 eyes on the jack. You have 7 eyes on the kings. And watch out which way the king's looking. He's looking this way in the car. When he looks at me, when I look at him, okay, and if he's turned around, he's looking this way, if I remember correctly. So he's turning to the right. He's turning to the right, and when Jesus went in his last, since he was turning to the right God, Jesus decided to turn his head over towards the left. See how the Matrix came in and taught him? It doesn't matter, because don't forget, we don't learn exactly the light. We have to know the light. What did Jesus say about the light? If God was his Father, what did Jesus say about the light? What did he say about the magic that he possessed? What did he think about it himself? What did he think about himself? What did Jesus have to say of who he was? Why did he always have to say, I am who I am? Or did he not say that? What did he say? In this world, I am who I am, God repeats himself first and last. But in this world, just about everything you touch is connected to Christ. And 2 things you got to remember. Is it Christ like this or Christ like this? Do you see the way the roads go on this angle? This is the way you want to drag Christ, because it's on your back, right here. This is your Christ. Okay? This is to stay away. Get away! Get away! I cross you with your own mark. Get away. The truth is, at the end of it, it doesn't really matter. Forget about all names. Our central goal is all the same, for peace. And if it's not for that, well, we're not in the same area as you. But the central goal for those associated are for peace. How we achieve it, how we get there, will only be the easy road. Talk, talk, talk. Talk, talk, talk. Talk, talk, talk till your head falls off. Because if it doesn't fall off now, while you talk, 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 you're going to fight many hundreds of years of war because you didn't talk, talk, talk. And it's time to start talking and learning what communication is all about and who gets to have what as rights for the society. It's not that hard. Raphael 7286. Back to the painting. Based on the constellation of Pegasus, writing a book of diaries, a book with no name, to free the myth of the king of Zazareth. For in my family there are 2 kings, but there is one and one. Thank you.